Um, I am Dr. D.K. Das, Department of Botany, GB College, Nagachia. Today I am just going to discuss about the cell membrane. Cell is covered by a membrane. It is called as plasma membrane. This membrane covers the cell, plant cell, animal cell. So this is a very important role to play into this process. So cell membrane is also called as a plasma membrane. Every cell every cell has a thin membrane uh, called plasma membrane. Plasma membrane which controls the entrance and exit of molecules and ions. So in the plant cell and animal cells, different ions are there and they are moving from one cell to the another cell. So this is a very important portion. Plasma membrane is so thin that it cannot be it cannot be resolved with the light microscope. Light microscope. But in some cells, it is covered by thick protective layers 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 that are that are within the limits of a microscopic resolution. Microscopic resolutions. For example, for example, most plant cells, most plant cells plant cells have a thick have a thick thick cellulose wall that covers and protects true plasma membrane. True plasma membrane. Most most animal cells most animal cells are surrounded surrounded by a cell coat a cell coat or external lamini lamini or cement like substances that constitute that constitute that constitute visible visible membranes uh, under under the optical microscope. These cell coats by including including or excluding molecules molecules according to their charge or size charge or size play only a secondary role in permeability. Cell surface research next. Cell surface research is currently one of the most active areas and molecular biology. Since it deals not only with the traffic material uh, between the cell between the cell and its environment. Environment, but also but also with many with many with many other functions related to the communications and interaction among cells among cells in a tissue. Now I will give you some its role. Molecular organization molecular organization molecular organization of the cell membrane. So I will give you something about the molecular organization, how it is formed. In the study of molecular organization of a cell membrane, the first step is to isolate it from the rest of the cytoplasm in the purest form. So plasma membrane, to isolate in pure form, it is very important to be, it is it is very important that it should be come out from a pure form. So this pure form is very important, otherwise you cannot see the cell complete form. The isolated membrane the isolated membrane so this isolated membrane, if it is isolated from such type of a membrane which is very important, in the purest form of the membrane, you cannot before that you cannot use it. So that for the use it the cell membrane, it is very important that it should be take it out from the purest form. The isolated membrane membrane is then studied by biochemical and biophysical methods. So to isolate membrane is a very purest form, and second is we should use it in the purest form and by physical methods. This separation is very important, and this can be done by the biological and biophysical methods. So this can be done by the biophysical and biochemical methods. It is a isolated the purest form. It is isolated in purest form, and then studied then it will be studied by biochemical and biophysical methods. So these are to study the cell membrane, and the cell is very important cell membrane which covers the cell completely, and cells are between the two cells, these cells are attached to each other, and these molecules are moving from one cell to the another cell, then they are survived. So in this all case, it is very important that to be isolate into purest form, and in the purest form we can this then it is studied in very purest form, so that what are the things are there, what are the resolutions there, we can study it. Thank you for today. हो गया आज का मिनट हुआ.